This is chapter 2 in your vocabulary book. The first word I want to teach you, though, is actually not in your vocab workbook, and it's eponym. There are two roots here. The first one is nym, which means name, and epo, which means upon. So if a word is an eponym, then it means that someone has conferred their name upon that word. A lot of the words that we're reading about are actually eponyms. The first word we're going to look at that is an eponym is tantalize. Tantalize, as you can read in your book, was a mortal son of Zeus, and he committed a crime against the gods, and so they decided to put him in a place where he would be in a clear pool above which grew delicious fruit that he would never be able to reach. So tantalize now means arouse hopes that will be frustrated. It's a transitive verb. We talked about what that means before, but just as a quick refresher, if a verb is a transitive verb, then that means that it must have a direct object following it. So, one must tantalize someone else, or something must tantalize someone else. Examples that they give you in their book: a cake might tantalize a dieter, or $1 million might tantalize a coach. Your next word is labyrinth. A labyrinth can be literal, as in the Greek story, and it's a maze of twists and turns. Of course, I can't do it justice, but if you've ever been to Dewberry Farms and gone into the corn maze, that would be a labyrinth of sorts. Today, though, a lot of times we use it figuratively. If you look at the bottom of each of the sections on the words, it usually gives you some instances of how we might use it today. So today, we might say the labyrinth of government is confusing. Someone else might say that the labyrinthian plot of a complex mystery really intrigues them. Okay, but a labyrinth is a noun. You can also use labyrinthian, which would be an adjective. Your next word is most certainly an eponym. The political theorist Machiavelli gave his name to this adjective. So if someone is Machiavellian, they're going to be successful, but they'll usually be doing things that are immoral. They'll be lying in order to win. Politicians, you can see at the end, politicians may get elected by using Machiavellian tactics, and then another use is Machiavellian maneuvering. So notice that it's always describing a noun. Your next word is laconic. It is also an adjective, and it means brief or concise. The Spartans were also called Laconians because Sparta was in the province of Laconia, and so the people there were very concise in their words and in the way that they lived. You can read about some of the examples there that are very interesting. The way that we used it today might be, someone might reply laconically, or you might say that's a laconic reply. Your fifth one that we saw in a short story that Mrs. Terrell showed us last week, maudlin. This is an adjective as well. It comes from stories about Mary Magdalene from the Bible. Supposedly, she was very weepy and sentimental, and so someone who is maudlin today would be crying a lot. They'd be very mushy, overly sentimental. We're going to find that good old Penelope in the Odyssey is much like this. Our next word is galvanize. This is a verb, and it's also a transitive verb, meaning that you must galvanize something else, and it comes from Luigi Galvini. And actually, what I like about this, and something that your book doesn't tell you, is that Frankenstein actually came to life in the book, or I'm sorry, the monster came to life at Dr. Frankenstein's hands in part because of galvanization. So it's applying electrical shocks, that kind of thing, to some kind of object. However, today we use it figuratively, usually. The example at the end of your text there says Adolf Hitler, Winston Churchill, and Martin Luther King Jr. galvanized audiences with their oratory or with their speeches. Number 7 is lethargic, which is an adjective. And if you wanted to use it as a noun, it would be lethargy. She has been experiencing a lot of lethargy. They think it's because she's sick, something like that. It basically means drowsy, slow, and it's a pretty quick, easy one. So just read the definitions there. Ostracize is your next one. It is also a transitive verb. So that means that someone or something, a society, a person must ostracize, we'll write it again, someone else. Okay, so you couldn't just say I ostracized or he ostracized. You have to tell what they're ostracizing or whom they're ostracizing. Next is gregarious. And this has a very positive connotation, okay? And it's an adjective. So when you use it in your sentence, it needs to be a positive liking the society of someone else, not someone who always just goes with the flow and never stands out and is their own person. No, this is someone who likes the company of others, who is sociable, enjoys parties, enjoys being around other people. So it's a very positive thing. However, egregious, this is a noun, and this has a negative connotation. So it used to be used as a positive in a positive connotation back in the 1700s. However, it's now become sorry guys, I'm very tired. It now has a meaning that is exceptionally bad. Someone who stands apart from others because they steal, because they're taking advantage of people, because they're being Machiavellian. All right, hope you guys have a great evening. Bye.